wine that we want to put into the blender. It's a Cayuse 2008, a Syrah from Walla Walla. I believe it's got 100 points from Robert Parker. It's not a cheap wine.
Can we put Robert Parker into the blender as well?
Robert Parker is not small enough for the blender. Okay, let's put it to the blender. Half of the bottle.
Because, by the way, for the non-economists in the audience, the other half is going to be used for randomization purposes.
It needs a little more. Okay, how are we going to do this?
This is going to be a problem.
Okay, so now we can do puree, crumb, chop, blend. Oh, let's stop. This is a $400 bottle. Milkshake, like blueberry.
Okay, but watch it go back so quickly. Look at that.
Look, oh, the sound. Do the sound.
God, the sound.
No, there was a sound. Listen to this. We'll start again.
That's the sulfites running away.
Okay, let's do the randomization thing.
Ready? Do you have anything more to say?
I have nothing to say.
Professor
Let's
Storchman?
just roll. Let's get
Let's
this whole
just
thing done.
Okay. What about Professor De Gea? Do you have anything to say on the subject?
I think we shouldn't ask too much about the randomized protocols that have been used here, but trust us. Trust us. I don't want to go completely crazy here, but I might be about to do that. The concern here that we've been having collectively is that the blended wine was successfully blended, but that it tastes like the blender, which is an interesting result, but I think we could have done that without using a $400 bottle of wine. My proposal is I go down and I get the immersion blender.
Right, and we do that with the
It's
second
metal. We can put it in a glass thing. There'll be no...
And I'll pull out another bottle.
Oh, whichever bottle.
Yeah,
I
bottle.
can bring a bottle.
We'll have almost the same one here.
And this way we can avoid, we've got another task without any of the, whatever is coming from the blender.
But before we do it, let's just enjoy the good glass of wine.
We drink a
Yes,
good one.
yes. No, so that's good. That's an excellent idea.
No, this is amazing.
This is good. Unblended. In its
Natural state.
in its natural state. Exactly.
I think the blender thing was a stupid.
No, but
Well, not necessarily.
Right.
We're gonna
Maybe
find
it was flawed because the blender was
Could be the
flawed.
blender.
Official glossary of wine terms on his website, erobertparker.com. And you'll find all these things like fat, maybe you can understand, stupid, dumb. Also, this wine tastes of a French brothel. It is giving willingly. And then he has 21 times, he says, this wine is like a whore.
This is
For the record, let me say I don't know what a French brothel tastes like. Just in case my wife is watching this.
Now we're giving it what Rajiv calls a...
Whore. Not to be mistaken for something that might be found in a bordello in France. Oh yeah, that's quite fine.
This,
I think we can just crank it up a bit. Okay. Yeah, that's
Okay, do we have the glasses?
Take a look at that foamy surface.
Hey Robert, are you listening? Look at how the wine reverts. Now we are examining the. There's the Gea down there. It looks absolutely identical as far as I can tell.
Should we just give it like a bit of a...
Yeah, let's give it a hint of light. There we go.
That's one.
We should probably do that from the same glass, right?
Yeah.
The glasses are different. So here we have.
What now you want to do glass fixed effects? Chalo.
Okay, glass.
Yeah,
No, this was glass fixed effects.
Yeah.
Now we rule out glass fixed effects. This is unblended.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
No, that's unblended
Yeah,
from here.
that's unblended, and we can tell it's more.
Okay.
It's fuller,
Yeah.
You can.
and that is the blending effect. You lose wine. No, that's not the effect here. This is the blended one. It looks left unblended, right blended.
It's identical. No, I mean, there's
Looks
nothing.
friggin' identical
Why?
to me. Okay, so this is the unblended.
This is the
I
unblended.
am about to
Cayuse.
taste it.
I think they smell different.
Really?
This is actually very good wine, very nice. Much better than the Bionic Frog.
That's good.
The unblended one is very nice.
Hey, they do taste different too.
I do think so too.
Can I have your opinion on the subject?
Going back to my memories of Bordello in France.
Which was earlier off the record, I might add.
Oh, yes, I
Just
think,
for Tiffany's
yes,
sake.
yes, I'm
but
sorry about that.
Okay. Is there a Bordello effect? Are you chewing on it?
Hasn't it opened up a little bit more because of...
I know that's what we want to see, right? I don't really.
No digging anywhere.
Sorry, but...
Has the bloody thing opened up? No, no. The other one had a huge difference because the rubber.
You're right. No, so it was flawed because of the blender. But I think
That's what I
so.
thought.
Glasses are different, so that's
so
kind
that
of a
maybe the
problem.
aroma difference just comes from
So
the
this
glasses.
the left one.
Debra, what do you think?
I
You've
want
got
to
the-
make a note of Carl's statement that the glasses are different. That's a MIT Harvard point of view. I don't think the glasses can make such a huge difference.
I think they do. Like the surface
Use
is
common
different.
sense for
In
identification.
fairness, observe that you have the same glasses. So in your
Right.
case...
In my case,
You
I have
should
no
do it.
difference.
Yeah, so you're like...
You should do it.
You're MIT clean.
Yeah, I'm MIT clean. Well, one might argue that I bought this on a different occasion.
Okay, this is the last test about
Yeah, we already
which
did.
one is treated, which one was not treated. So this is the first one. Is that treated or not, or blended or not?
Blended or not. Yeah, okay. So here we go. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, man.
Cheers. That was glass one, as you can tell.
Now glass two. Same glass, same wine.
This is blended.
That is correct.
Oh!
Good. Yay. All right.
Well done. So wait a minute. So just give me 1 minute. So
Yeah.
Carl, stay back there.
Can't stay there.
So we have to rotate an even or odd number of times. So in this case, as the camera will observe, I have rotated. I will not say, but we've observed the number of rotations, and Carl can come back and
Carl, come back.
you're going to lose.
I
the
think
smell.
one smells of metal and one does not.
But you're not going.
Yeah, exactly. They're the same.
That's a French right?
I think there is a little bit of a difference. It's at the border of randomness. I just say I don't know. This is a crap shot. I say this is the unblended and this is the blended,
You're correct.
but that was
But
the
That was okay. Fair enough. Well, that leaves us in a bit of a
Bind.
bind. Yes.
A Bordello-like bind or...
There's a fantastic story. Do you think that wine, when it comes here, it comes from France or from Australia or from Chile or something, it all comes by ship. They're all boiled, they're all cooked. But like all of these wines are cooked. And you can, in blind tasting, you cannot tell.
Carl, tell me a little bit about your overall experience today with blending the wine.
So we did two things. We blended a Cayuse frog, a Bionic frog is the wine, and the Bionic frog was from 2009. And we blended it in the blender of my girlfriend.
A family heirloom. Can we say that? Like a
I
treasured.
don't know. It was an older blender, and at first it was leaking. We saw that it was leaking, and then we all thought the blended wine had some rubber taste. So I think it altered the wine in
In an
a
irreparable
detrimental way.
Right.
It gave rubber to the wine.
So then we went down, Rajiv went down and got the...
Immersion.
The immersion
Immersion
blender
blender.
made of solid metal in a neutral substance. And we went at the other Cayuse line, which was not the Bionic Frog, but the
En Cerise 2008. 2008 En Cerise, and that was a very different experience.
Yes.
And indeed, it was, I think you have to describe it as a subtle experience, which
Ah.
is that there was a great debate. Was there any difference at all? The
Right.
very fact that the blending at most produced a second order difference, right? Basically looked the same, it tasted the same. If you were really stretching your imagination, then you might have detected a difference. Debraj and I thought we felt a difference. Carl did not, although in the end, on the blind tasting, Carl could successfully, 4 times out of 4, 3 out of 3.
3 of 3.
3 of 3 detect the difference. So clearly there was something there. The question is, what was it?
I do think that the blended wine has improved. Actually, improved is a weird word for this. It's more dense, it's more compact, whereas the unblended wine kind of was a little bit oozing out. But again, I think 99% of this is imagination. I think there's an enormous random component to any wine tasting.
However, let it be said, as an amateur wine taster and a failed theorist, that imagination is, I think, a very valid and key component to anything that you do. Why not, right? I mean, it's all about what you imagine to be there. Coming back to the French Bordello versus the non-French Bordello, you know, I mean, I think there's a
Sorry,
huge...
which non-French Bordello was that?
That was the one in Vienna, if I remember correctly, yes.
Right.
You know, there's a huge component of what the imagination allows, right? And it's true, right? That, you know, we have these labels, we did an experiment, and this was not in deference to our friends who do this for a living. This was not a very well-controlled experiment. We knew what was going on. For Carl and for Debraj, we did like, you know, we gave them a bit of a random hand, but still. In the end, it was not very well controlled, but I think that's not bad.
The thing that struck me the most was the enormous change that the blended wine underwent. It was foamy, it was milky, it was foamy, it was...
Sorry, you're talking about the visual change.
Yeah, the visual, and then there was a sound, right? Like once you blended it, was it sounded like all the bubbles sound, and then it was all like pale white, not white, but like pink, and then it takes 5 seconds, and it goes back from pink to white, and the
to red, yeah.
Red, yeah. And then the bubbles go like waves.
That was fun.
So it quiets up a little bit, and it takes a minute, and it looks totally normal, and you can like visually, you cannot distinguish them anymore.
Right.
And from the flavor and taste, you think you can or you cannot. That's totally random. I think what we learned from the whole thing, we need to do more experiments like this, and probably do that in a more scientific way.
I think this is the kind of experiment that I could see redoing
over and over again.
Over and over again.
If not for any other reason, external validity.
Fairly regularly. Exactly. So,
and it's either one is no good.
If there were wine in my glass, I would raise the glass to external validity, but my glass is empty, so I guess...
No, that we'll fix.
We will
right now,
yes.
off camera.
Off camera.
Okay, see you guys.
Oh, yeah.